Hi, this is Matt with Stove King. Um, Today we've got an old Lopi door, and we're in the process of, we just repainted it. We're going to revamp the stove, going through it. This is something that's nice to do to your stove every couple years. Paint it all, give it a nice fresh coat of paint, clean it all up. Maybe look at different parts that are not looking so good. One of the things that's most common is going to be your door gasket. When you have a wood stove and the constant opening and closing the door to feed, to load, and clean the unit, this will take a new gasket that looks like this, and it'll start to flatten out and fray. So this is a very common replacement part that we usually recommend gets replaced approximately once every 2 years. So whether you see it or not, just a good idea. It's fairly inexpensive, just to go ahead and make sure that your stove's ready for operation that next heating season. So what we have is here's our 7/8 rope gasket. This is the box 7/8 rope gasket. This is a Travis part. What you'll find with us at Stove King is we use all manufacturer parts, so you'll never buy a knockoff brand or anything like that. We believe that in order to make sure your unit is running efficiently, you should have the right parts in it. So what you'll see, what I'm going to use to clean this, so we've ripped off what was there, the old rope gasket. And now what we're left with is old gasket cement that's been dried up and now needs to be removed to get to a nice clean surface where we can apply new gasket cement around the door and put our rope gasket on. So usually what we recommend is a nice bead, maybe around a quarter of an inch thick, once we get done cleaning this all out, and then we just place the rope gasket in, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and start working some of this old crusty gasket out of there, or gasket cement out, just by knocking some of that out. So just cleaning any debris that might be in there off. Try to get a nice clean surface to apply our gasket cement onto the door. This is our stove and gasket cement here. It's around $9, and this is also found on our website, stoveking.com. I'm going to put the seam of the gasket right around here, so I'm going to add a little bit extra here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and apply this bead all around the door. Another thing that I would highly recommend is gloves, because this is fiberglass, and this particular gasket is graphite, so it's very dirty. It'll wear on your hands, and your hands will be pretty much black. So it's pretty messy to work with. So you see here, I'm just gonna run a paper towel just around it, just make sure it's nice and clean. Try to distribute that the cement a little bit evenly if I can around the door. All in all, it's a pretty clean bead around it, but it doesn't hurt just to take some of that excess off in certain areas and make sure I have it in areas where it might be a little bit thin. Now, I'm going to take my gasket. Again, we talked about, sometimes you got a big frayed end like this. It's okay just to take a pair of scissors and shave some of that fraying off a little bit. Try to keep it a little as clean as you can around it. The important thing when you're doing your door gasket too, if you're using the right size, which is very important, you don't need to pull at it. See, if I pull the gasket, it really thins out, and you don't want to lay your gasket in like that. What you're really looking to do is just place it in and push it in after you put it in like that. So you're just laying it on top there and pushing it down just so it lays inside that gasket channel there. And going around here. Now this is going to give our door a nice tight squeeze and a nice tight fit against the body of the stove when it's burning. See here that now we're at the end. Now I put a little bit of extra cement in that spot because that's where my seam is. So I'm going to pull it back a smidge. There's my end there. Okay, we just finished our door gasket. We're good to go. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, you can always call us at 860-774-6100 or visit us at stoveking.com.